Attention all tech enthusiasts, get ready for an electrifying experience as we dive into the cutting-edge world of technology. Introducing Tech Insider, the ultimate show that brings you the latest innovations, trends, and insights from the rapidly evolving tech industry. That's right, welcome to a show where you find out everything that's got to do with technology. And I'm not alone today. I have the beautiful and lovely Ms. Pendo Manjele who's joining us today, and she is a data scientist. Hi, Ms. Pendo, how are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself. So, I don't know, like, you just giving me some good vibes today because, like, you know, you're looking very lovely this morning. I know, you know, us ladies would take long to, you know, get dressed up and prepared.
Thank you.
But not just that. I mean, like, there's something very interesting that you actually do in your field of work. I believe that you are a data scientist, and I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but, you know, data science has got to do, you know, like with the study of, you know, extracting meaningful insights for business. And it's also a multidisciplinary disciplinary approach, which actually combines principles and practices from the field of mathematics, statistics, AI, and computer engineering to analyze large amounts of data. Now, with that said, can you provide, you know, like just a little bit of an overview of your background and your experience in data science? Because this does not sound like it's easy.
Well, it depends. So easy is actually very subjective. But maybe just to provide a bit of my background, I was born and bred in Kalulushi. I went to the Copperbelt University where I studied computer science for my undergrad. From the Copperbelt University, I think my aspirations were far beyond what I could actually see in the industry. So I had two options. My options were literally binary, coming from a computer science background, which is either networking engineering or software engineering. At that point, I definitely wasn't going to get into networking engineering because I wasn't quite enthusiastic about that. I decided to major in software engineering, and I started my career as a software engineer after graduating from the Copperbelt University. So I think like any other professional, early in your career, you're lost, trying to find your niche, trying to navigate and grow, and also looking at what your ultimate goal is. I think for me, I was always looking at what's my North Star, what's that big, hairy, audacious goal, what do I want to achieve? And I think I wanted to create impact with the work that I was doing. And so early in my career, software engineering, I enjoyed the work. I think I had an opportunity to also lead a community called the Meta Developer Circle. And through the community, I think that's where I found my niche and also purpose in terms of career. I was able to network with different engineers and tech enthusiasts who inspired me to get into data science. So I didn't know what data science was about.
Yeah.
But through connecting with different people from different walks of professional walks, I learned about data science. And I think after learning about data science, I had a light bulb moment. I'm like, I think this is what I want to do in tech, you know?
Yeah.
And I got back home and started researching about data science. What can I do with data science? What do I currently have that can actually help accelerate or propel me into data science, and what am I lacking at the moment that I need to work on or learn in order to become an effective data scientist. So so it started from there, and eventually I started taking online courses, looking out for other opportunities and just be more inspired. But unfortunately, during that time, the opportunities within our local ecosystem in the data science space were not pronounced, if any at all. But I think what helped me is I did not limit myself to the local ecosystem. I was thinking globally, like, this could be something, you know? And
you're thinking big.
Yeah, like, you know, like we don't have it right now here in Zambia, but I think I did see I had a bigger picture, and I decided to get into data science. I started learning, and then after learning on my own using the online courses, I decided to get an opportunity that allows me to apply data science. Because in my current, I was working for a bank at that point as a software engineer, but there were no opportunities in data science. So I was in between. I'm like, okay, what do I do? And for you to grow a career in tech, you have to apply yourself. So at some point you can learn or you can't, but if you're not practicing and applying yourself, the gap becomes wider. So I had to take I had to make a decision to leave my corporate job, comfortable, and join a startup, like a very early startup, whose fit I wasn't aware of, But I think when it comes to career, especially early in the career, I think from what I've learned, there are certain risks that you have to take. And if you really want something, you have to just dive in and, there's other people will tell you, oh, no, you have to stay, security and whatnot. But I think it's always important to, what do you want? I think for me, that's what was important. I want to become a data scientist. But what does that involve? There's going to be discomfort in the process. And I think change is always not very easy as we always think it is. And we always just see the highlights and the iceberg of, data science, so cool. But a lot of work had to go in there. And I think there was very little resources and mentors as well. But I think at the end of the day, for me, what was important is just doing it and also looking at what impact the work I can do as a data scientist will have the different organizations that I work in and also the people that I actually work with, you know. So it was more about what I want and the impact that the work that I was looking into getting into will have.
And you actually mentioned how, it became a bit difficult at one point, but they do say that if you don't feel like you're being challenged, then it's not going to change you, and it actually changed you for the better. But before you actually became a data scientist, when you're going into this field, software engineering and the likes, did you think it was more of like a straightforward path, before finding out about data science, like, wow, this field is actually kind of, expansive?
The field of software engineering?
Yes.
Not at all. So, software engineering also had its own hurdles, I must say. And I think for our ecosystem here, there's lack of specialization in most. I think now it's becoming more... I think the specialization and also understanding what different technical roles require is, I think we've actually progressed in that area. But earlier it was, okay, you're a software engineer, you're going to take up full application lifecycle. You're going to be the project manager, you're going to be the front-end engineer, the back-end engineer, you're going to design our database. And so... you find that you have so much work to do. It was good because you get to learn, but I think at the same time it stifles your growth because you're only focusing on too many different things at the same time that you become a master of so many. You become a jack of all trades, but a master of none. So I think for tech, it's important to have a niche. Find your niche. Where are you good? Like, you can't be good at everything, and the good thing is that software engineering and data science have interrelated skills that I was able to go with my software engineering skills and just now add on other skills that I was lacking to help me get into data science more prepared. So I didn't have to completely drop the skills that I had in software engineering. They actually helped me and propelled me. So I think it was a win-win for me in the process.
And you actually mentioned how data science has actually helped you as an individual, but how do you think it's actually making an impact in Zambia? It's still a steady growth into the industry, obviously, but how do you think it's going to impact Zambia in the long run?
Well, if we look at it, before I get to Zambia, I'm going to look at it from a global perspective. Data has become a hot cake. And everyone says data is the new oil. And if you look at the recent trends and the recent news and big tech, data has always been data breaches, conversations about everyone wants to have a hold of data. Data is an asset at this point, you know? So narrowing it down to Zambia is businesses are now looking at growing and serving customers better. Look at it from a private perspective. most organizations have a mission of, we want to deliver the best services to the customer. We want to build the best product. We want to have the best services, but all that is built upon data. So for you to know me, I'll talk about customer experience, improving customer experience. It's about getting to know the customer. Who is this customer? Who is Pendo? What are her preferences?
Yeah.
What does she like? What can we offer her that will keep her coming back?
Yeah.
How has she changed from last year? Is she still preferring the same products that she was consuming last year? And is she still preferring the same products, or has she changed? But that is a lot of work. Imagine you have 1 million customers. Can you do that manually? No.
Yeah.
But you have to have data about me. You have to know me, and to personalize that experience at every point. And for businesses, especially in the service industry, the competition is extremely stiff, and customers want to feel valued. But what does value mean for a customer? Value means I walk into a store, I'm able to find what I'm looking for at a particular time. I receive a message from my service provider giving me relevant offers and saying, "Hey, Pendo, we have a discounted offer on coffee on an espresso machine, because probably I buy coffee regularly from them, and so they're getting to know me as an individual." But that does not mean the person next to me who doesn't take coffee at all will receive the same offer.
Exactly.
They'll probably have something slightly different, but from the same provider at the same time. So improving customer experience is very, very pivotal on getting your data insights right, segmenting your customers to the most granular level, and sending the right message at the right time. Another example is meeting customer needs. So most businesses are looking at delivering products. So we're building these sophisticated products. But is that what the customer wants?
Exactly.
Yeah. So to answer those questions, data comes in. Who are our customers? Who are we targeting? What is missing in this market? What are the needs of our customers? Who is providing the services that we're providing at the same time? So analyzing your competitors or the players in the market, for a better term. Analyzing what's missing in the market that you can actually offer and filling a gap. But you can't do that without having information, without having data.
Yeah, you can't just guess it.
Yeah. And that data is... The data is now we don't have kilobytes of data now. We have terabytes of data, and you can't analyze it with the manual conventional way that we used to do it. So you have to now bring in machine learning models, which are going to help you understand, get patterns, and get insight from your data. And at the end of the day, you get to have better insight, deeper insights, which are also richer, that help you inform what your next move is going to be. So I think it's very key for businesses to leverage on data, to serve their customers better, to personalize their offers, to provide better products, and also to make the customer experience more refreshing,
And that's what people don't understand, like the customer is what brings you the business. So if you're not taking care of your customer, then you're not going to have any data to work with at all.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
This is Tech Insider, and we're talking data science. We have a data scientist right here. Her name is Ms. Pendo Manjele. We're going to take a quick break, and then on the flip side, we're going to be talking more data science. In case you don't know what it is, we're going to be reminding you. Otherwise, it's 9:35, and it's a little dash right here on Lusaka Radio. It's 9:36 right here on Lusaka Radio, and it is Tech Insider with me, Lil Dash, and we are talking all things data science. So in case you don't know what data science is, it is the study of data to extract meaningful insights for business, and it's also a multidisciplinary approach which actually combines principles and practices from the fields of mathematics, statistics, artificial intelligence, and also computer engineering. All this to analyze large amounts of data. And we did say we don't have kilobytes of data anymore, we have terabytes of data. That is why data science has been brought in. And I'm not alone, I'm with Ms. Pendo Manjele, and she herself is a data scientist. So back to the questions, because like we're trying to learn so much about data science and, about how much you know about data science. So what are some of the challenges, that the businesses commonly face, when implementing data science? Because it's not something that comes by very easily, analyzing data and, putting it out there, putting it to use. So what problems or challenges have you faced as well, personally?
Well, when it comes to data in this day and age, some of the challenges that are very predominant in the industry are, of course, data quality, data itself. So the availability of data, the quality of data as well. So I'll speak to three things, right? Data as data itself, the regulation, of course, and talent.
Right, yeah.
So data, well, you can't do data science without data, right?
Exactly. It's just a science then.
Exactly. So, and key to the data is the quality of the data that you have. But the majority of the data that we have is garbage. And what do I mean by garbage data is initially we were collecting data, but we did not see the future of what the data we're collecting is for. So I would collect your name, you could give me a fake address. So we're just filling in the blanks. And organizations were not putting in checks to ensure that the data that is being collected is complete, is valid, and is accurate. So now, years later, there's this data science thing going on. And here is data science. Okay, I'm here to serve the day. I can help you grow your business. I can help you retain your customers. And we go back to the data and we're like, oops, we have so much data. And then now you look at the data that you have. It's garbage.
Yeah.
A lot of garbage. So there's value in the data that you have. There's signal in the data that you have. But there's so much noise at the same time. So why am I bringing out the aspect of data quality? Most data science projects fail because of the quality of the data that is being used. So if you put in garbage in, garbage out, it doesn't matter what mathematics that you apply, the algorithms that you build, the talent that you bring in, as long as the data that you have, your input is corrupt or dirty or not clean, you're going to expect the same output. So most organizations are facing this challenge of how can we ensure that our data is clean? So there's a lot of data quality, data engineering that needs to be done. And most organizations that are early in the data stages are focusing on how can we get our data clean? How can we put it in tables that are structured so that it can be ready for analytical purposes? So availability of data as well.
Yeah.
So we want the data. So there's a scramble for data. But then there's also now data privacy issues that are coming up and saying you just can't collect people's data without their consent.
Exactly. It's not like the 1980s where you could just go up at a counter and be like, can I please, find out where this person is, like, let's say they're at a hospital, like, give me the hospital ward number. You can't really do that anymore.
No, you can't. And I think that's important to have information. As individuals, we need to be aware of what information organizations are allowed to use.
Exactly.
And the consent is also important because now it brings in ethical issues of why is my data being used. So you're allowed to opt out. If you don't want to be receiving messages from your provider or if you don't want your hospital to keep your medical records, you have the liberty to say, excuse me, you have to delete that information, and because it belongs to you.
Yeah.
So those conversations are what's happening to protect the user's rights. And speaking of talent as well, is we have a shortfall of data talent because now many organizations, many institutions are looking at how can we make our data useful, how can we capitalize on the data that we have to build value for our customers and for the organization in turn. But then the talent, because back then there were no data science was not a thing.
Yeah.
So even universities did not have programs that were tailored towards data science. So most of the data scientists that you see now with experienced data scientists either have a mathematical background, computer science background, statistical background, or economics background. And those had to now learn skills that were missing, that they needed to accelerate their foot in the data science space. So now that talent gap as well is very challenging. So most organizations want data scientists. You look at talent pages, search for data scientists. So there's a job gap as well.
Yeah.
So we're saying there are no jobs in Zambia, but there are new jobs that have been created.
Exactly.
So I think it's important that even as we're speaking about what are the job opportunities available in Zambia, employment is there. But I think it's that we are not yet upskilling in the modern day technological skills that are required to fill in those gaps. And if we do not champion skills in those areas, we have huge unemployment, but then there'll be employment in other areas which will be untapped. So I think it's a matter of where are the opportunities at. And so in data science, opportunities are massive, but we have the demand and supply is
it's lacking. Now you did speak about how data science is kind of high in demand right now because there is that gap. So what advice do you have for businesses who are actually looking to leverage data science for growth and innovation?
So for businesses looking at leveraging on data science, a good first step is having a good data science strategy.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to achieve with the data science, with bringing in introducing data science or introducing a data science team? So different organizations call data science teams differently. Others call them intelligence team, others call them analytics teams, others call them whatever you call them. But what is the strategy? How are we going to get where we want to be? Also having clear goals. So what do we want to achieve with data science?
Yeah.
So for different organizations, the metrics, the North Star is different. Others are looking at it from a product's perspective. Others are looking at it from optimizing the applications, in logistics, it'll be different from banking.
Yeah.
So it's having that clear goal of what do we want to achieve. Also having a strategy of how are we going to get to there. And talent as well, hiring the right people, upskilling individuals within the organization. So hiring the right people might take time.
Yeah.
Because the talent pool is very thin at the moment. But also within the organization, can you identify people who are interested in getting into data science or who can champion the initiatives? Invest and upskill those people. Because when you invest in the people within your organization, they understand the organization and domain better than someone coming from outside.
Yeah.
So once you give them the skills, they know where to apply them immediately, and you're going to see value because they're not starting from the scratch, but they're improving on what they've already been doing, and also doing things differently because they understand the organization better. So for data science, domain expertise is very important. Yeah. So another aspect is like I mentioned, data literacy. So within organization, educate people about data science. It shouldn't be done in isolation.
Yeah.
Have cross-functional operations. If I'm in finance, data scientists should be able to interact with finance, should be able to interact with the marketing team, technology team, and everyone should understand what data scientists are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With all that said and done, I'm sure if you're hearing about data science for the very first time, Ms. Pendo Manjela has smoothed it out for you so you can understand. This was actually my first time hearing about data science, to be honest, because like in the media you come across so many things, but this is one thing that I'm actually glad that I actually learned about. But thank you for coming through, Ms. Pendo. It was really fun getting to know more about data science.
Thank you for having me. This was a good conversation. Thanks.